This month we're working with the Postage Due stamp set, and I want to show you this really fun technique. It's really easy using glossy cardstock, daubers ink, and just some black ink. So let's get started. The first thing I wanted to do was to take the large stamp from the set. It's like a already done collage, which is really great. And I stamped it in Stays On ink because that just sets really fast. And you could use just regular black ink, but I find that sometimes it smears. So I've gone ahead and stamped the image on glossy cardstock with the Stays On ink. The next thing we want to do is take some color, and I've got Daffodil Delight and Island Indigo. And I'm going to start with the daffodil because it's always good to start with a lighter color. And all I'm doing with the dauber is just going lightly over parts of my image. And I always just go in a circular motion. I just find that that works for me. So I'm just going to add some yellow. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to go back in and add the indigo, which is a darker color. I like Tempting Turquoise too. It's a great color and works well with this technique. So you can see how simple this is. You're just creating a nice little background here with very little effort and very little supplies. And you can spend as much time as you want on this. I could go in and take a lot of color, and you can see rubbing that in creates a little bit more contrast. So it's as simple as that. The next thing you want to do is take another image from the stamp set. This time I'm going to use the Travel Post, which is the cute little old-fashioned car. And again, I want to stamp that in Stays On ink, again on glossy paper, just like so. And I want to let that dry. Once that's dry, I can use the same technique that I did earlier. I'm going to pick up my daffodil and add it on, and then just go in with my indigo, just like so. I'm going to be punching this one out, so don't care if I go over the edges. Perfect punch to stamp that out with is the postage stamp, because it's got the little postage look edge to it. Just going to center that inside like so, punch it out. If I've missed any of the edges, I can go in and just add it afterwards with my dauber. So now we're going to put the card together. So here's all my pieces, my two stamped pieces that I did earlier. This is a piece of Lucky Limeade. I love this color. And I've just run it through the Big Shot with the polka dot embossing folder, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Before I stick it on my card, I want to add a little bit of ribbon, and this is the ruffled ribbon, also in Island Indigo, so it matches the ink that we just used. And I find the simplest thing to do is to just cut a piece that's a little bit longer than the piece you're sticking it to, turn it over, and then add some snail adhesive on the back. It just wraps around like that and is held into place really simply. Then the snail on your corners. Stick that back on. I didn't stick it down hard enough. Here we go. And then on your four corners like so. Just give it a nice little rub. And now I'm going to layer my stamped piece. Layer that stamped piece onto a slightly larger piece of black. Your stamped piece is, by the way, 4 inches by 3 1/4, and then the black piece is just 1/8 of an inch larger. You just want it to frame it. You don't want it to take away from that image. So it just sets it so you can see the difference between the Island Indigo and the black. And I like to pop things up, give it even more dimension. So we're going to put a Stampin' Dimensional on all 4 sides and then adhere it to the card. And then lastly, we're just going to put one dimension on the back of our little postage piece. Place it on the front of our card. And we're done. Simple, but effective. So that's your first card in the Stamp of the Month for September, Postage Due.
If you wanna play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line.